Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at something I very often get asked, and that is how to get Gregory medals, or well, how to get Gregory medals, but also how to get pretty much any Dokkan Awakening medal. Now Dokkan Awakening medals are obviously broken up into several categories. You get your common medals, which are things like Gregory, Supreme Kai, Elder Kai, Bubbles, Dr. Giro. Then you get obviously your Dokkan Awakening medals, your story medals, your Easy A medals. In this video, I'm only going to be covering common medals. So that's Bubbles, Gregory, Dr. Giro, Supreme Kai, Elder Kai, all the different Kais, West, East, North, South, etc. So I won't be covering how to get Dokkan Awakening medals and things like that. It's very straightforward generally for those. And I'm going to specifically highlight Gregory as a medal because this is one a lot of people struggle with. So I'm going to highlight how to get them. I'm also going to explain why you run out of Gregory medals fastest. But yeah, let's just talk about how you can get medals. So basically, the easiest way for new players to get medals, barring the greatest warrior missions that you will get at the start of the game, is to do the growth events. Now growth events are great, as I've mentioned before, for getting hidden potential orbs, getting a whole bunch of different kind of materials. But one of the best ways to get awakening medals is to do the growth event. So you'll see here that there's a whole bunch of growth events. Now it's very important that you do the strength, tech, or physical growth events if you want Gregory medals specifically, as Gregory is used as awakening material for strength, tech, and physical units. So you really want to make sure that you do those stages specifically. When you're on the stages, you want to look for the white capsules. So you want to look specifically for the white ones. You don't want to get anything else if you're looking for Gregory. But generally speaking, this Dokkan Medal Awakening event is pretty much just a good way to pick up medals as you go along the map. So it's a very cheap cost event. You can do the higher difficulties. The higher difficulties will have more chance of spawning higher rarity Dokkan Awakening medals. So if you specifically only need Gregory or Bubbles or anything like that, you're going to want to specifically run the lower difficulty ones rather than running the higher difficulty ones. If you run any higher difficulty ones, you have more chance of getting medals like, not so much Supreme Kai, but the West Kais, East Kais, the Korin, the Giru, etc. Those are generally going to be the ones that you get on the higher difficulties, because those medals drop from gold capsules. Meanwhile, the Master Roshi, the Grandpa Gohans, the Master Mutayuto, those generally drop from the bronze ones. So you've got like pretty wide-ish range to kind of choose from, obviously. But generally speaking, you want to obviously focus on white capsules if you're looking specifically for Gregory. But all bronze medals, Gregory, Dr. Giro, etc. drop from the white capsules, or silver ones drop from the bronze, or gold ones drop from the silver, and all rainbow ones, well, most rainbow ones will drop from gold. There's two exceptions, being Elder Kai and Supreme Kai. Those are very special medals, and we'll talk about them kind of adjacent to this. But yeah, so that's growth events going to be pretty good. Another great way is going to be doing things like quest mode. You'll naturally accrue these purple capsules as you go along. You want to pick up the capsules that have the little purple banner on them. Those are going to be the ones that help you out the most. And you can accrue those while you're doing quest mode. You can accrue those while you're doing pretty much any game mode. Dokkan events will have them, pretty much growth events will have them. Anything really that can spawn a purple capsule will be good. Honorable mention to stage 1 of this, because if you complete stage 1 of this event, you will get 5 medals of each one, of Gregory, Bubbles, and Gregory, Bubbles, and Dr. Giro, from completing stage 1 of the Epic Showdown event, which you also need to do for the Greatest Warrior missions anyway, so that does help. It's only on first time clear, but it is super helpful. Then, obviously, you also have story events. Story events aren't great for farming Gregory specifically, or Bubbles or Dr. Jiro, but they are pretty good at picking up the other ones. So if you're looking for specific silver medals or gold medals, maybe you're looking for some certain rainbow medals, generally speaking, story events are a great way to kind of target those as they drop on certain stages. Obviously the medal you get will be randomized, but generally speaking, that's a good place to start if you're desperately needing of rainbow medals. We're going to talk about that because it's actually not so hard to get Dokkan Awakening medals. It's more difficult as you begin the game or if you play the game casually, but generally speaking, there's a lot of ways to get plenty of these medals. So yeah, obviously, the Awakening medals is kind of the easiest way to get them for the majority of players. But with that being said, it's going to depend on what type you need. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the Bubbles medals drop for tech, strength, and physical units, as that's where Bubbles is needed the most. And that's why you consume a lot more Bubbles medals. And we'll talk about that. To get some Rainbow medals, some Supreme Kai medals, you can get them from the missions for this event. But another medal you're probably going to struggle with are Supreme and Elder Kais. Generally speaking, that's also a place where people struggle. Dragon Ball Story is a great way to, again, get silver and gold medals, potentially some rainbow medals as well. But it's all very non-catered towards the bronze and non-catered towards Supreme Kai and Elder Kais. Now, you can pick up some Supreme Kai and Elder Kai medals from the missions, both for normal story events and for DB story events. So you can obviously pick those up if needed. But another great way to pick up medals is to go to the Bubba Shop. So in the Bubba Shop, there's a couple ways you can get medals. First, for Zenny, you can pick up Gregory, Bubbles, and Dr. Jiro medals pretty much on the hour, every hour. So, or when the shop refreshes, I think it's every 4 hours or so. So you can get those medals pretty easily. It's only 25,000 Zenny. Also, frequently you can do trade points for them. Now you can get Bubba points by trading in your SR characters. And yeah, basically pretty cool. You can essentially, just trade in for those medals. They're relatively cheap, only 100 points, which you can easily farm as well, trading in free-to-play characters. And you get around 30 to 50 Gregory medals as well, which is a pretty decent haul. You can then also look at trading in story currency. Now, this currency is better for Supreme Kai and Elder Kai medals. So a great way to get Supreme Kai and Elder Kai medals if you are a new player is to do things like DB Story, pick up some of the event currency, and then trade it in for a Supreme Kai or an Elder Kai medal. You can also use Battlefield currency, although I don't suggest using Battlefield currency ever. Battlefield currency, more than ever, holds a lot more value now because they are easying Battlefield units, they are bringing out new Battlefield LRs. There's just a lot that you need the Battlefield currency for. Treasure gems can also be traded in, especially for Supreme Kai and Elder Kai medals. Obviously, some great value there, but generally speaking, you are going to probably want to refrain from doing this until you've finished the Strength Vegito kind of grind. Once you finish the Strength Vegito grind and you've finished some of the Prime Battle LR, easy A's, I think you can then use treasure gems. In terms of Ultimate Clash will give you some medals. For every time you clear stage 1, you get a whole bunch of common medals, rare medals, etc. You can also pick up a Supreme Kai, Elder Kai medal as well. So Ultimate Clash is a cool way to get medals, but it's not really a new player friendly way. It's very frequently where I'll pick up some bonus medals, but it's not necessarily the best place to get them for a brand new player, because obviously there is a ranking requirement for Ultimate Clash. You do need to already have Dokkan Awakened units, etc. So it's not like it's straightforward, the easiest way to get these medals. So that's just something, I think a lot of people can probably understand. And otherwise, your quest modes, etc., things like that, picking up those purple capsules is where it's going to be at. World Tournament gives some medals, Supreme Kai, Elder Kais, and also some Gregories, Bubbles, Dr. Jiros, as part of the mission rewards and the tier rewards, so that is helpful. And then Chain Battle does also give some medals as well, although not nearly as much as some of the other game modes. But It does obviously give, you know, some kind of medals. So if you do these events quite regularly, you should have a decent stockpile of medals, much like myself, basically. But it all comes with time. Obviously, the best way rapidly for new players is pick up purple capsules, do the Dokkan Medal Awakening event, and to farm story currency or treasure gems is probably the easiest way, at least in terms of everything else. You cannot get them from stage missions, things like that. You can't trade in Supreme Kai trial tokens for medals. So don't worry about any of that. That's all strictly speaking just for strength. I love Vegito. So yeah, pretty much all covered. Now just to explain a bit as to why you tend to run out of Gregory medals more than any other medals. So basically, to cut a long story short, Gregory medals, you know, they do basically kind of exist for a large typing. So physical uses Gregory medals, strength uses Gregory medals, and tech use Gregory medals all to Z Awaken, whereas AGL and Int have their own specific medal. So Dr. Jiro for Int characters, and then Bubbles for AGL characters. The thing is that's just basically a 3-to-1 conversion rate. So chances are, let's say you have an equal amount of AGL tech, physical, strength, and Int units, you would just naturally consume Gregory medals 3 times as much. And a lot of people are noticing this now, obviously because of the medal cooler grind, having a ton of free-to-play units, and obviously with the majority of them being, you know, one of each type, but also the additional cooler unit being strength, the Goku Gohan unit being physical, etc. You just notice that there is a difference. From silver onwards, they have 1 typing of medal per typing. So they have like Grandpa Gohan, Master Mutaito, etc. all respectfully for each type. Same with Korin, Kami, Guru, etc. The Kais, etc. You will then also notice this problem when it comes to Elder Kai and Supreme Kai, because you use Elder Kai for more typings than you use Supreme Kais. That's why you'll notice naturally your Elder Kais are less than your Supreme Kais, because you use Elder Kai for 3 typings and Supreme Kai for only 2. That's just a byproduct of having an odd number of typings in the game. But that's pretty much everything you need to know. Honestly speaking, that's basically captures every single way you can get medals. Hopefully it's helped you to locate where you can get Gregory medals, where you can farm them, the easiest way to get them. But yeah, generally speaking, those are the medals you're going to struggle the most with. Again, this is just covering Dokkan Awakening medals, and Awakening medals in general. It's not necessarily covering the medals you need for specific Dokkan Awakenings or EZAs, etc. There's no real need to cover those. Those are very specific and very connected to the units themselves. So yeah, but that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, or I'll see you in the next one. Bye.